Let's bring in our business reporter, Ed Boyd, for the latest. Ed, first let's go to the Reserve Bank. It held its final interest rates meeting of the year yesterday. The RBA says it's not concerned about rising inflation.
Not concerned at all about rising inflation, Pete. They say these current inflation pressures are transitory and they're all due to the pandemic. So think about the supply chain issues of getting goods into the country, the oil price we have at the moment. If you look at the petrol pumps, the oil price, it's about at a 5 or 6 year high right now. But the RBA says that prices are going to start to decrease over the next year and things will start to get cheaper again. And it's going to take 2 years for inflation. It's currently at 2.1%. It's going to take 2 years for it to creep up to 2.5%. And when it gets to that level, that is when the Reserve Bank will consider lifting the cash rate. The other thing as well is when wages growth rises too. So those are the two main things the Reserve Bank said yesterday that it's looking at. That was its last cash rate decision of the year. So they take a bit of a break now and they'll come back in February for their new board meeting next year.
OK, we've got this announcement by Josh Frydenberg sort of shaking up the payment system today, Ed, but the RBA Governor Phil Lowe, he's going to speak at a payment summit tomorrow. Is that related?
I'd say it is definitely related, Pete. So the Reserve Bank Governor is going to be talking all about digital payments and the future of payments in Australia. It's clearly coming one day after the Treasurer, which I hear you're speaking to very shortly.
Yeah.
But expect the government to cover off a lot of things the Treasurer will talk about. The RBA has actually been looking at creating a digital bank currency for some time now, and it would be the equivalent of an Aussie dollar just in digital form. And countries around the world like China and Nigeria already do that. The other thing with Bitcoin, the bank was looking at that too. Not El Salvador currently use Bitcoin for their transactions every day. I don't think Australia's ever going to get to that level, but the governor could talk a bit about that. The other thing, of course, is digital wallets and competition in the digital wallet space. So when you tap and go with your mobile phone, if you have an Apple phone, which is about 80% of the phones in the market, that payment is routed through Apple and they get the fees for that payment. Now, a lot of Australian banks have complained about that and they want a level playing field. So the ACCC is looking into that digital wallet space and they could inform the Reserve Bank, we need to change this, and then the Reserve Bank can tweak the settings for Apple specifically to boost competition in that sector. So Treasurer could speak about that too.
No, I was going to ask him about that, and it's good that you clarify that, Ed. So I mean, so how much would these big tech companies stand to lose if that is changed, if these reforms are put in place?
They would stand to lose millions, potentially billions of dollars, because we had the chief executive of Commonwealth Bank earlier this year at a government inquiry saying it's not a level playing field, and we basically think it's unfair, and Apple have too much market power in this digital wallet space. So Apple are obviously very keen to hold on to that market share, and they don't want to give it up. However, if you have an Android phone, many banks you can have your own digital wallet on that for the bank. So each bank can be on an Android phone, but the Apple phone in the Australian market at least is exclusive for Apple customers, Apple users. However, in other countries, they have regulated Apple and there are different digital wallets on the iOS device in other countries. We just haven't done that yet in Australia.
Okay, yeah, this is a complicated space and good to get some clarification on that. Might need a little bit more for those just coming to terms with these reforms. But anyway, appreciate that, Ed, as always. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.